Ladies and gentlemen, this is the Sunday's editions of the Examiner, airing live on the Liberia Public Radio, Lpr-Tv, every Sunday at 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time with your lead anchor presenter, Afonso Zienso, with a team of analysts representing different political views, spectrum. Dr. Mali Jones in the Ocean State of Rhode Island, Wharton Kettle, the converted Independence in Connecticut, the liberal progressive Samson Blacubranto, based in Saxton, Sacramento, California, Cissy Goyo in Minneapolis, Minnesota, Tara Collins in Minnesota, and of course, Koto Jala Balayans in the Garden City of New Jersey. They are here, and we will take on the issues making news headlines in Liberia, the Examiner. Welcome to the show. Good evening, good evening, good evening. So we want to welcome our viewers and listeners across the globe. Thank you for joining us here this evening. Beautiful Sunday evening here from the East Coast of the Liberia Public Radio, New England Bureau Desk. I want to welcome all of you to this program, to welcome to the show. I am Alfonso Z, and so right here in control, we say good morning, good evening. If you are in Liberia, you are right here in the USA, we say good evening. So welcome to this another editions of the Sunday program, The Examiner, that takes on other issues, making news headlines in Liberia. We say good morning to our two big guys who are the faces of this network. Ben is based in Abidjan. That's our Abidjan Bureau Chief there in Abidjan, La Côte d'Ivoire, keeping track of all of the political happenings. And in the southeastern side is our guy, Roland, national correspondent. Gentlemen, thank you so much being up this early morning hour to know what is going on, and for all what you do. The link is out there, sort of course. There was a big interview here entered here today, and I'm going to have my take on it as well. And we will continue to dive into the politics in La Côte d'Ivoire. That is very, very much important, very, very much crucial. And we intend to keep that news fair, balanced, and proportional. Let me see here. What did I say? Okay, that's the banner right there, the Examiner. So we're here to examine the conversation. ANC political leader appear on one of the major news outlets today. We're going to be getting our take. Hopefully the analysts and some of the ANC folks are going to be here to see what it looks like. I listened to it pretty well, and there are a lot of things happening here. We're going to get a take. But of course, as politics is so much polarized and divided, you will always see people have their own say here. But here on this network, we keep it fair, balanced, and proportional, allow each and everyone to speak their mind with respect to how they understand it, the interpretation, and if they want to do the fixing, they are at liberty to do that as well. I am Alfonso Z, and so of the Liberia Public Radio and Lpr-Tv. I will be back. Let's take this quick commercial commitment, and I'll be right back.
Good morning, good afternoon, good evening. We'd like to say welcome. This is Liberia Public Radio. We are located at the FDA Junction, Painesville, also of the nation's capital. Have you been in search of that platform to cover your wedding, love on funerals, or political rallies? We'd like to say your worries are now over. Kindly contact us on these numbers appearing on your screen. Or better still, message us today on our social media platform. We're going to be right at your doorsteps. To stay informed, kindly follow us today at Liberia Public Radio on YouTube, Facebook, Instagram, and all other social media platforms. My name is Tanner James Cover. Thank you.
Hey you, it's time to pack your bags. The world is calling. From the skies above to every corner of the map, explore all seven continents with journeys designed especially for Europe and Africa. Whether it's a cruise, an all-inclusive resort, a hotel, car rental, theme park getaway, or the perfect excursion, Ayana's Dream Escape brings the world within reach. Adventures start here. Don't just dream, escape. Book now. Visit our site, scan the QR code, or just call today.
There you have it there to all the travelers. If you want to travel the Ayana Dreams Escape, that is the place to go. And the sooner you get your reservations in place, the better you're going to be. And just tell the CEO, the proprietor or proprietress or the managers, tell them that LPR will give you this info. You never know, you're going to get a jackpot bonanza to get a good deal. And that's what we intend doing. But we want to thank you so much. We say good evening to all of our folks. Esther, good evening. Happy Sunday. Koto Jala Balayant. The link is all out there. We're going to tap into the conversation this evening. I jot a few things down. I believe a representative from the ANC will also be joining us here to get their take. And of course, as usual, we incorporate our viewers, our onliners, their comments, and I'm quite sure everybody monitor, because that was a very, very, very much important interview. And it was good. It was peaceful. It was quiet. Everything was touched on. Obviously, there are more to come. You cannot just empty all at once. We're going to get to that. And we also keeping track of what is happening in neighboring La Cote d'Ivoire. And we are making preparation to bring in more. Peace in Cote d'Ivoire is peace in Liberia, is peace in the southwest region there in around our corridor there. So we want to say a big thank you to our man Ben, who is LPR Bureau Chief there in La Cote d'Ivoire, doing everything possible to make sure that we have access to those leaders, and that is very, very, very much important. Let me see here. Let's just play courtesy of the Spoon Network. Let's see here and get some of the soundbite this evening from Alexander Benedict Cummings. The resurrection, the return, has he found his political voice? These and many more. Let's see whether we can get some audio here, courtesy of Spoon Network, in the just ended interview I listened to this evening. Let's listen to some of it.
This is, kind of behind the scenes, but historically, Stanton, I have normally left the decisions around the leadership of the party to the party. I've indicated who I wanted in leadership roles, but have not been actively involved in sort of architecting the team. But this time around, I was intentional in making sure the partisans of the ANC knew who I wanted in what position. And for the most part, we got all of the people we want. And so we have the right mix of people leading the party going forward. So yes, the convention was very successful.
You have another convention coming up here in the U.S. Talk to us real quick.
That's correct. So yes, we're doing it all in October because we want to get the internal politicking of the party behind us, so we can focus on making our case to Liberian people. So on October 25th, 26th, in Atlanta, Georgia, our ANC diasporans will be having a convention. As you may know, we had several factions within the ANC in the United States. We want to bring all of those factions together under one umbrella. And so, again, we're looking forward to that convention in Atlanta, in the US, where we also elect new leaders of one ANC unit in the United States of America. We're having a virtual event in Europe where they will also, elect their new officers going forward. And some of the other smaller geographies will be having similar activities, so that by the time we start 2026, we will have a revamped, a re-energized ANC everywhere in the world, in Liberia primarily, but also in the various geographies around.
How do you intend to bring back those that left you in the diaspora in Liberia? So
we're actively reaching out to all of our supporters, because again, we need to first of all protect the base and reach out to those who were with us and left us for whatever reason. We will take responsibility for something we didn't do, said, or didn't say. So we are going to aggressively reach out to them. But of course, we need to expand the base. And so we'll also actively reach out to people who were not supportive to try to make the case, again, to grow this, what I call this big hut. We want a hut as big as we can make it. And we want as many people from all parts of our country, geographies, demographics, to come and join us so we can make the case to our country and to our people.
So for the record, you'll be in America. Are you going to Europe? But you say it's veteran in Europe, but will you make a stop and meet your new leadership in Europe?
I will be visiting Europe next year. So I will not visit them this year. I will participate in the virtual convention in Europe. It's virtual, so everybody's going to call in and have that convention, but I'll be visiting Europe sometime in the new year.
How relieved are you? I mean, this time around, Mr. Cummings, are you confident this time around? You think you are where you should be this time around, and with your team in the U.S., in Europe, in Liberia, or anywhere around the world? Are you positive?
There was a lot of episodes in the interview this evening that I could, or more or less, to be a turning point. We want to dissect, we want to put it under the microscope to see what it is bacteria, and it needs to be taken to the laboratory to do some other testing. We're going to do all of that. And of course, they're going to be here. We're going to have an honest conversation. And I know some of them, the politicians, these political analysts with some of these, they're going to find some sort of pay here. But they are here. Dr. Molly Jones, right here from the ocean state of Rhode Island, is here as well. Minnesota, Minneapolis, one of Washington, Terry Collins is here. We want to welcome our viewers and listeners across the globe. Hopefully someone from the ANC corridor will join the conversation here. If this is the first time on this network, we say you are wholeheartedly welcome. You are under the hub of LPR, Liberia Public Radio, online news network here in the USA, Liberia, and the Ivory Coast. Let's bring in our guys and get the ball rolling. So right here, let me bring in Dr. Mallis. Let me bring in Terry Collins. Okay, Terry just went off. Dr. Mali is here. Let me see here. Dr. Mali, just bear with me. I want to make some kind of quick changes here and see. Is today Monday or today Sunday, Dr. Mali?
Oh, today Sunday, sir.
Yes, sir. That what happened when too much is ongoing. Oh my goodness. All right. We say good evening, good evening, good evening. Thank you so much. Mamalo is here. Sekudali is here. Venetia is here. Bidel is here. The house is in for attendance. And this evening, we will have a conversation. We want to profile to one of the big kids interview. Right now, my skin too is boiling, and I know somebody within the ANC will also give us a for me to have Honorable Cummings here as well, like we did 4 years ago. Terry Collins is here. And the top surrogate, let me move this button here because the little bamboo going to divide color. Because I know, my guys, somebody will deliberately make a pick here to pick at people to find something. That's what they do. They are good at that. So let me move this button here, and then I'm going to bring in our guest, and hopefully she can be a contributor here. Fatu is here. Oh, she went off. Okay, I'm going to come back here. Okay, guys, happy Sunday. I am not an Oga. I am not a Nigerian man. I am not a Guinean. I am not an Ivorian. I am a Liberian. You guys brought a propose suit. With George, we are coming from Nigeria to Liberia, and we're all in Propo, VP, Kun, and everybody. Guys, good evening. Happy Sunday. Fatu, good to have you here. Good evening. Happy Sunday.
Hello. Hi, everyone.
Good. Okay.
How are you?
Yeah. I seen big smiles on your face, Fatu. Let me start with you here. It seems to me, I want to get out of the shadow quick. It looks like this day for ANC is a big day.
Yeah. Are you referring to? I'm sorry. I came a little late. What exactly are you referring to?
I said a big day. Your political leader, after a major convention, he did appear on a big network today.
Yeah.
I have one take. I don't mind these guys. I told you, Terry will make sure and find Jika in the toes in this conversation here tonight. Dr. Mali, as usual, sometimes Esther, get your Tylenol because trust me, somebody will want to give you ibuprofen here anyhow this Sunday. That's what they used to. That's their last thing. That's their nickname. But let me just start with you. I believe you listen to all ANC folks. I do believe they listened to that interview because everybody was holding their breath. It could be a pivotal point. It could be a game changer. It could be voters reconsider their decision to have a second law. But let me just come to you. Let's put aside the partisan cap here and as a Liberian here. What you saw different today out of Alexander Cummings?
I think I watched the interview, and I think one of the things that I gathered from that, it's somebody who really understands the challenges that we face and has some really solid ways that he wants to address that. And I'm really happy that he, announced publicly that he's going to be running. And so it's something that I think hopefully everybody connected to, because I do think he has a good plan for the education system in the country and also the healthcare system in the country as well. And really just talking to voters and him really clearly stating too that, the Liberian people are really smart and know what they want. And it's our job to actually communicate that to them and really ask for their support and vote.
Okay, let's make it fair, balanced, and proportionate. Let's go to the political pastor. I know you're going to put the scripture aside and take his political government. Let's see what happened. Nothing is guaranteed on this network. Tara Collins, you are news freak like myself. I believe you did listen to that interview, correct?
Yes, sir. Fatu, how you doing? And Dr. Jones, how are you? And to our audience too, and the examiner, sir, the examiner. How you doing, sir?
Good. I'm glad. Thank you. Let's turn the camera off. Let's be honest here. Let's put aside I am from this place, I am from this place here. What was your most takeaway today?
Well, to be honest, Mr. Cummings almost convinced me, but he did not. That was the unsuccessful part. But yeah, but the thing is that what the question is, yeah, Mr. Cummings did well. I think from grading him from 1 to 10, I think I would give him 8. There are some other points, there are some other areas that I felt that he did not really do well, Mr. So, in the area of when they asked him concerning the 100 days, he did not make mention of anything in regards to holding previous government official accountable for their stewardship, because I felt that is the first thing you would do when you get in office. Your 100 days, you will make sure to give account of the previous government officials have to give an account, but he said he will focus on the economy. His 100-day priority is lifting up the economy, which is not bad, And I also enjoy. I thought that was lean on his part, but one of the areas that I thought he came out strong was when he said he wished for the government to succeed, but the atmosphere is not promising, given the fact that all of the intricacies that have occurred over the past 1.5 year, 1 year, 8 months does not show that the government is going to be successful. And I felt many people are talking about, oh, the man should have said this. I felt Mr. Cummings spoke figuratively. In the other word, he was saying that this government is not capable of succeeding. From my view, that is what I saw. That is what I think I heard, that this government is not, based upon what he's doing, based upon the way the government proceeding, he don't think the government is going to be successful. So I thought he came out more like an intellectual, and then a politician, a typical Liberian politician. I thought he was more diplomatic than radical, So in my view, he's still a good candidate, but on the overall, my recommendation to Mr. Cummings is that he needs people that the Liberian people will listen to, that will introduce him, that will reintroduce him to them. He need people that the Liberian people will listen to, reintroduce him. Because for what I see, Mr. Cummings is a fine candidate, but he struggled with being introduced. When you go into the town, There is somebody that has to introduce you who the people in the town know. Once that person is not there, Mr. So, the person who introducing you will struggle. If the person came with you,
Which time I'm gonna come to you. You want to today is Sunday. Today is Sunday for God's sake. And you starting as if you never preached today. But we want to come to your sermon later on. Dr. Mali. And tonight I'm going to fully participate. I'm going to give my views and what I observe, what I see, and what needs to be done. I'm going to do that tonight because there are a few things that I really mark. Dr. Mali, I believe you had an opportunity to listen to our comments.
Oh yes, I listened to coming from start to finish, almost going into 2 hours.
Mm-hmm.
However, if I put myself into perspective, I see myself as an independent. Kumi wasn't able to convince me today. The position I put myself today, I have no political party, and Sumi Kumi was speaking to me. He could not get me today as an independent mind Liberian. And this for 3 reasons. One, Kumi of yesterday, his tone is different from Kumi of today. That one thing I observe. He's a very fine, great political personality. His thoughts are well organized. He knows exactly where he wants to take Liberia. But I see him talking about some similarity with past government that caused me to be a bit jittery. First, let's come to the issue of the concession. When he was asked how he would have handled it differently, well, he was more concerned about how much we're going to get. And Kumi is saying as a reformist, Kumi is not on record for corruption in Liberia or from where he came from. I'm not saying that. Kumi have got a real organized agenda, platform, and manifesto for Liberia, which making a bit different from most, or if not all of the politicians in Liberia. But when it comes to the issue of the concession, I was a little bit disappointed because Kumi now, we expect him to tell us something strange. Not something that we expect people, we expect what CDC did and what Unity Party is doing, what the former part 1 Unity Party did. I don't think that's where we should be coming from right now. When it came to the concession issue, I thought Kumi was going to tell us it's about time we take the direction of putting out a plan that will carry on manufacture, then we sell the goods to people. But he was rather, how much can we get the same government show? How much can we get equally to benefit our people? I was disappointed there. Yes.
Okay. So
on a general note, I think he tried to really market himself. Yes.
Okay, thank you. So, guys, what I want us to do tonight here, we're going to do it differently. We're going to speak within a certain time frame. When I try to call your attention, let us just hold it. Because what we do here, not necessarily for us, we want our audience, because this is where the media fail, because the media fail to have the narrative in check. So as a result, the audience, the electorate, they did their own thing. Fatu, I want to reserve you. Let me bring in this guy who just coming in from Connecticut, potentially claimed to be independent, converted to Wiashin, seditions. Wiashin, now he's independent. I have no idea what he wants to say, but I want to give you the fair shot so that you will respond. You listen to Terry, you listen to Dr. Mali. Wilton Kelter, good evening.
Yeah, thank you. Thank you, CEO. And I would like to say hi to the panelists, Fatu. Welcome once more. It's nice seeing you again.
What happens today in your political war from Mr. Cummings' interview?
Mr. Cummings has always been Mr. Cummings, and I thought this time I was not surprised of his presentation today. I think a lot of people from the opposition were expecting a firebrand coming, and, you know, coming out gun blazing, blasting the administration. Because don't forget, he's in a race to win. He's not in a race to play Gumbaya. He's not in a race to give Joseph Boakai a pat on his back. He's in a race to win. And to win the race is to point out all those things that your opponent is doing that is very bad. Those things that are very bad. If you start giving people, you know, the government, I want the government to succeed, and I want this, I want that, then the people start to ask questions. If you want the government to succeed, then why you don't give them all of the tools that you have instead of criticizing them or want to take their positions? Why you don't give them all your tools in your arsenal? Why you don't come to the table and say, look, you do X, Y, Z, and try to promote their image out there? No, this government is failing. And I think as an opposition person, I was a little bit disappointed because I thought he was going to come up firing. Don't forget, in the opposition, when Cummings were in the opposition under President or we are, on day one, they came out gun blazing, $16 billion. He was in the forefront with demonstration. And, you know, followed by other protests, followed by other actions. And now Mr. Cummings is relaxed. I mean, giving Joseph Boakai a pass. There's a man that brought denigration upon him. There's a man that disowned him, publicly disgraced him. And we see how the country is going, even though he made some statement today about the situation in our society. But he equally said, you know, he want the government to succeed. How am I going to say a government should succeed when people are dropping dead in the country every day from drugs? How am I going to say the government succeed when corruption, when people are breaking the very law that they stood up and took oath for? I mean, I'm just saying, I want the brother to improve his commitment of being an opposition and want to take the presidency.
Thank you so much. So then, and that's what I wanted to reserve you, Fatu, to be able to capture what you guys are saying. Of course, I want to have my own voice into there this evening because this sort of talking point here, it look like they want to kind of give us a headache here this evening. Fatu, you listen to the guys. Where are they going wrong?
Well, I think two things can be true at once. You can want the country to be successful. You can want the administration to be successful and then still be critical. And in his interview, he did lay out some concerns that he had. I also think it is actually good for the country if you have politicians who are running for offices to want the best for the country. We shouldn't be wishing things don't work out, right? And I do think also there is this need to frame how we engage in the political conversation in Liberia. I think Terry mentioned earlier about the way in which Cummings was talking about the issues on the ground. You can disagree with a person and still want the country to be successful. I think that's the main takeaway I got from each one of you point of just like critiquing him on the way he is. We don't want Instagram or social media leader. We actually need somebody who have the intellect and the know-how to be able to get us through the huge barriers we have in Liberia. And Mr. Cummings really did lay out a really good solid plan on how he wants to go about doing that. And part of that is really wishing the best for the country. And he did also state too that if there is a way he could be of support, he wouldn't mind coming to the table and giving some advice, but it has to make sense, right? But yeah, that's what I just kind of want to touch on there.
So I listened to the most part of it, and I'm just going to give my honest and objective views based on what I gather, what I heard from him differently. Whoever handling Alexander Cummings now, I think they are in the right trajectory. Cummings' presentation today, it was not the Cummings that I saw, that I had the opportunity to interview here. He came very forceful. He became more authentic, not like a traditional politicians, acknowledge some of the things that went wrong. I asked that question here with these multiple branches and organizations of ANC that here. I told him that it was going to be a problem because people are going to be pushing and he will be held responsible. But the whole turning point into this conversation, and I've not heard any of the analysts of the ANC to point out today, was Alexander Cummings finally, I will say for me, because any other person to come and be saying that sort of stupid thing, Cummings put it to rest today when he came to that gate. And I like how he was forceful. And Stanton was contained today, and he made him to be contained. They mind the concept of radio host, talk show. You cannot always be combative. The reason we call these leaders, in the real world, when you are interviewing presidential candidate, other people, do you know that there's a specific, I don't know whether there was the team work out, but there are specific question when you're asking, they have to review. You can't ambush people. But coming today, put to an end of this, gay, this and that, and there were some words that he deployed. And I'm happy that he put that because politician, you can't be too psychedelic. He said, it is nonsense. You remember what Trump used when he was referring to people already, he says bullshit. He was more or less confident of himself. He felt, and he said, I will not allow people, we always talk that here, Terry, and that's the worst thing in politics, for you to be defined by your opponent. He realized that he was defined by his opponent, and that distracted him heavily. They were doing damage control. People were not too strong to counteract those points here. And let me just wrap up with this thing here. In this few here of this area, there are few questions when you ask as a journalist, you want people to know the who, the what, the when, the where. The how is more or less is reserved for politicians. So what he did today was, he undo those other one and brought in how in terms of how you're going to get things done. Because when the how is used, it more or less is a political war because it provides you the detail as to how you're going to do it. So what Cummings did today, if he maintains that, people will see him differently to say, wait a minute, I think. And what he did was that he demonized his opponent in a unique way, that I am a victim of what happened because they felt that I will go after them. I am a rule of law guy. And these people, because they are corrupt, they do not want anybody to face the system. So what they did, I was falsely incriminated. And I thought that what the analyst is going to be making those kind of points. But today, I'm not saying he sealed it up, but this is what exactly he needed to do after your convention, because your convention and your that is a first prime time interview. And when you are giving a prime time slot on a major network, you want to do everything you can to put a hand to an apprehension. I don't think Terry is happy with what I'm doing here. Maybe they're going to say I'm an ANC man now too here, but I'm just being, what I gather, because like if this guy, I think he read, you remember Terry we had here, and I said the politician like, bro, are
you a host or you're an analyst?
What?
Are you a host or you're an analyst?
I'm giving my own analytical view of what we listen
you
to.
More or less, you ANC supporter right now.
Yeah, where you go? Okay, that's okay. But I'm just telling you, I just how when George we are going and then where Joseph Boyka, I will do it. No, what we are doing here for you people, I know you're sedition will always be a sedition. I think you are uncover yourself here again tonight. What you did here tonight.
I just push your button, you want to put me in, you see?
No, you put my button, I will push your coat. But okay,
Liberal car, the people, the liberal car.
Let's get to my ultimate goal. I want to see good leaders. And you can't start your first prime time and go into a fight with everybody and that was most of the party they did, because you don't know how it ends. And quickly before I end, he said, he acknowledged that they were going to collaboration, but this time around, technical details, people will know their role. So he learned a high core lesson. I'm glad that he made those things here. Let me just counter here. Dr. Mali, am I making sense here? I mean, I am a Liberian. Forget being a host. My ultimate goal is to see the good out of Liberia. And so when people work, because I open myself up, then now we only Liberians listening. You never know Nigerians, Sierra Leoneans. So we want to show the brightest of our potential leader. But let me just bring you in.
Yes, I don't know what Mr. Keto tried to crucify you ahead of the end game of this platform, but I just want you to hold your peace.
Oh, no,
Before I move into my analysis, first of all, I want for Mr. Keto to know that President Weah doesn't believe in manifesto, Kumi does. President Weah doesn't believe in strategic plan, Kumi does.
Fire in the can now.
Weah doesn't believe in good governance, Kumi does. He doesn't respect human rights. So many people got killed, top officials. Kumi seriously stand against those things. And he doesn't believe in debate. Now the man want on prime time. Former President Weah continue to run away from these things. Let me speak the Liberian English tonight. You see, we cannot talk that. We examine you through the mirror of these things. All right? And I want to really give him hats off tonight. I hope he will come to LPR so that we can also, I think it's good for him to lower the temperature. All right? But when it came to the issue of probably people expected him to go on the rampage to bring the roof down so CDC will be celebrating again, I think that era has ended. He make it clear. Fatu just made mention about one of those things. When they asked him whether he could participate in this government, Kumi said yes, if only he will not be set up to fail. And I agree with you. Those are managerial responses from a top, highly sophisticated manager. If you set me up to fail, I can't take the job. And he's right. Assuming they tell Kumi to go and be the permanent representative to the United Nations, they're setting him up to fail, not to become a president and taking him far away from Liberia. I will tell him not to take that job. So he was 100% right on that. So, CEO, your perspectives are in place, and we are with you on that. And let's continue with this journey.
Okay, so Terry, I mean, we just want to have an honest conversation. Any of these leaders, and I hope he will be accessible. They will make him more visible, because the more people interact with you, the more they feel confident. I think he's becoming a much more listener. I saw that coming. I'm not that too surprised. He going to Nikutan the other day was like, okay, let me get to the real electorate, the typical day-to-day library. Terry, I mean, it's important that we have this sort of conversation. Let's hear you. I mean, it's not possible to address everything today. And I think, I don't know how the format system, questioning system works, because we're moving here and there and all of that. But, and he was very strategic, because his strength is the economy. So when you go into a debate, not a debate, he's not debating, but when you go into a conversation, the goal of the moderator there to get you off track, you will want to bring that person back to your strength. And that's exactly what he was doing. For every time they try to pull him away, he go to the economy, because he knows that his strength, that where he can properly articulate. Let me just ask you here, Terry, is it fair now, or is it too soon to say, okay, this guy, and he was proud. He said, yeah, the 1% they can build on it. So he was being honest. He was not in denial of anything. So he willing to learn to improve. Is it now, can we now say, wait a minute, this whole race here, it look at anything, say what anything can happen, or it's just nothing?
Well, yeah, but whether if Mr. Cummings' position tonight could be translated into votes, it depends on Mr. Cummings' surrogates, his supporters, those who are carrying his narrative to sell the guy. Today, I saw, like you said, Mr. So, you rightly said, I saw a different Mr. Cummings. I saw an autocratic Mr. Cummings who is ready to make decision for himself because he was coerced previously and he saw how it went badly because people misled him. People told him what to do. I saw a Mr. Cummings who is ready to stand up for himself. But my fear is I did not see a Mr. Cummings that can be sold to the Liberian people from the perspective of those foot soldiers that he have on the ground. You know, I did not see a Mr. Cummings that is political per the political or demographic of the Liberian setting. I did not see a political strategy. I saw him telling the Liberian people what he can do, the kind of quality he brings to the table, which is necessary. But I did not see the guy who understands still the political demographic of the Liberian society. So I'll be hoping to see those things in the coming days. And all of that, he's taking the internet, he's blowing up. Liberian people are waking up to the reality that comments could be an option. But one of the things my grandmother used to tell me is that it's not what you tell people that make people to listen to you. It's who is telling the person you're speaking to that will make people to listen to you. Who is Mr. Cummings? Who is talking for Mr. Cummings? If something goes wrong now, there are certain people, Mr. Soul, that when they call you to talk to you, you will listen to them. You see, on Fanatic Kofa, when all the Guru Baru were going on, Madam Seri called him. She was the last person that spoke to him before he resigned. So what I'm saying is that there are certain people that you need to liaise with, that will sell your narrative, that will promote you for the people to listen to. And those people have to be people on the ground that the people listen to. The last point is that Mr. Cummings Mr. Cummings surrogates need to know Mr. Cummings' strength, and they need to sell that. There were there are two questions that asked Mr. Cummings stress on it. He talked about helping Liberia. I asked the question last time, does Mr. Cummings think that he can help Liberia? He made mention of that. I also asked whether if he was a businessman, a politician, or an economist. He stressed today on two major points of being a businessman and an economist. But what is Mr. Cummings' strength right now in the political setting? In the mindset of Liberian people. Liberian people have seen an economist, which was Madam Sirleaf, and it did not go well. Liberian people, have seen all of that. But what Mr. Cummings brings that they need to sell is his integrity. Mr. Cummings is the only candidate in the race that have not been tested with political power. So I expect them now to run with that narrative for the political setting in Liberia. That,
Okay.
hey, this guy we bring into you, he have not been tested. But you
Okay.
have Unity Party, you have CDC, so give him the option. And I think if they can sell that very well, something might happen.
So, far to hear what I see, predict, and I surmise that it's playing out, which is not a surprise. They are beginning to slash, bit and pieces with gashing here. This one year, we give this one year, but we take it 1 year. You take it 1 year, win. You take it 1 year, load. You heard a pastor. This pastor is politically minded. I think he's more or less political than being a religious guy.
Oh,
Well, let me bring you in here. You heard these guys saying. I mean, it's not a surprise. I would not even give my opponent 100%. If I had a side, I would not come in here. That is a weakness in itself here. What you guys need to do now? What is missing here that maybe you want to enhance to these the Ketor and that of Terry Collins?
Well, I think before I answer your question, I want to just touch on something that Terry mentioned, which, falls into, Mr. Cummings doesn't have the relationships, political relationships, exactly what you said. I think part of campaigning, and Mr. Cummings has been running on and off for some time. Part of campaigning is engaging different demographic, different tribes, and making sure we're bringing those people on board. So I think you're making a lot of assumptions on who he knows and who he doesn't know. So I would just say that. And then to answer your question, I think Mr. Cummings just have to stay the course. And I think meeting more voters, meeting more Liberians on the ground is the strategy that is going to work. We need to talk to people, continuously talk to people who are going to be voters, and making sure they actually understand what's at stake. You know, we keep electing the same people to some extent, expecting a different outcome. That's not, you know, we're offering something different. We're offering something that really is going to help. Hopefully we can lay out the vision for Liberians that we can do better, we can do different, and we should try different. And Mr. Cummings, you know, has been committed to really engaging people on the ground and really talking to people. At the end of the day, we have to talk to voters, and they are the ones that are going to be getting us into the office. And so I think that's something that we just have to continue doing.
Quickly before I go to get Fatu, was there any weak side of Ellis Cummings you saw today and say maybe perhaps I wish he should have hit on this point? Was there anything that you pick on?
No, I think he hits the key points I wanted him to hit on. I think he's stressed out the plan that he have in mind, and definitely touching on the different things that have come up with the LGBTQ community. I think we have voters in Liberia, we have Liberians who are of that community, and we have to be able to talk about them and engage them in a way that is respectful, and also you know, make sure they feel like they're going to be a part of the country, and they are a part of the country, honestly. And so I think he really touched on the points we wanted him to touch on today.
Okay, so Kato, let me just come to you. And I think, like I said, from what I witnessed, what I see today, those who kind of like prepare him for this interview, I think they did a favor, they did a good thing, and I think he stays the course because his objective is to provide a narrative about himself, not necessarily about his opponent. The time is too far for that, because when you get out of your convention, a political rally, a political convention, and you are given a prime time slot on a major network, is to unveil your true self, what will you do? Not necessarily, even though Stanton was showing boycott this and that, comparing contrast, okay, brought in the jet and all of that. And I thought he gave us really wise answers depending on the situation. What happened to you guys? I don't know whether you still a sedition or former sedition. I really don't know now with this, why it's happening now, but with you guys, they were unable to, the propaganda the UP waged on people. I don't want to expose my sitting president to danger in a volatile war. You were unable to defend this usage of a private jet. You don't want to have a president traveling, going in transit 5 hours, 6 hours, everybody get back here. Anybody can kidnap your president and go. Anybody can do something. You were unable. But I think he addressed that depending on the situations. He's going to have a wise judgment. But let me just bring you in here. Is he seen as a thorn in flesh now within the opposition column? Because and a good thing he did today, he made it known that kind of way, I don't know, I will decide. Hit the nail on the head. People do not like indecisive people. You know, you would have that decision made. Say it right now. Let it get in the ears of the people. Do you think he was decisive in making that proclamation today that he's going to run 2029?
Well, at first he was dancing around it, and Stanton posed the question to him direct. He said, "Liberian people need a yes and no answer," and he said, "Yes, of course I'm going to run." So, like I said, as an Kumi being as an Kumi, he liked to play political correctness. And you were talking about the jet and the car. Stanton posed the two questions to him intentionally, because these were narratives that were propagated during the elections and I mean prior to the elections, that President Weah had a private jet and it was bad for the Liberian people. The people were suffering, and all the whole nine. Yeah, come to find out, the question went to him, right? And he justified, like the Unity Party doing or did, justify the use of private jet now. Okay. So
did he explain? Let me hold you. Did he explain anything the usage of private?
Can you let me land on this, CEO? Because the fact is, the common man, the seditions, the Liberian people, they're not crazy. You told them it was wrong. They're not going to look at the justification you're giving today. You told them it was wrong. And Terry said something here. Is he connecting to the common people, speaking the common people language? You came and you told the people it was wrong to fly private jet. Now you come back and say you justifying why you flying private jet. Why you didn't tell the people back then? Why you didn't tell them, even though you flying private jet, but it means something. It is okay. Why he didn't say that? Why he didn't justify it? He's justifying it now. This is what I'm saying. He's not helping his opposition, being an opposition. What he's doing is he giving this government a free pass to propaganda they made. Now, you, as an opposition, you got to hold the ruling establishment for what they said they were not going to do and what they say they will do that they are not doing. All right? That's what the opposition does. You cannot come here and tell the Liberian people, justifying something that this government, when they were in opposition, pointed out as being evil. And you come in the opposition and you justify what the government doing. If he were speaking between he and former President Weah, okay, we're going to see something. But he's talking about this government that he wants to unseat. He wants to unseat. They even talk about the cars. He tried to walk it down and be so moderate about it. Ain't nothing to be moderate about it. You got a good car. Why you buying car cost 1.5 million? When the people, you get open university, you should go hard on these people. They didn't play soft on him. Let me tell you something. Liberian politics is not for the weak and the faint. Liberian politics is aggressive. That's why they will grab you by your jugular. Could the fanatic Kofa line the highway when he came as a speaker and were moderate with Joseph Waka? They took him to the Pope. They took him to the Pope and they overthrew him from the while he was bending down praying and receiving blessing. They were overthrowing him.
People saw him too. Your own people saw him.
This is the thing I'm trying to tell you. They were overthrowing him right there. The people that saw him today, are they part of CDC and the Swiss side? So I'm telling you, Liberian politics is not for the faint. You have to be wise.
Okay, thank you. Let me bring in Dr. Mali. You see, this is how these guys, they piecemeal, they select them bit by pieces, and on purpose they ignore other things and just send us the salabo, and we think that they think that we can't eat croutons with salad. This is what Keto is doing here this evening. Keto is not also saying, when Cummins did mention about his positions, about the Chinese position, how the boycott administration ignores the rule. They didn't follow the process. They went down to the yellow machine. That yes, it's not bad, but there are processes, there are rules involved. Ignoring all of that, Keto on purpose decided to ignore that. Let me just bring you. If we continue to have this sort of conversation like this, each and everyone protecting his or her own alligator, where can we get as a people and as a nation?
I think Keto is being deliberately condescending tonight. Yes, and that is quite unacceptable. You cannot compare Cummins to George Weah by any length of imagination or political argument. First of all, I listened to Cummins' judge issue today. They asked him that question, and the man was clear. The man said he would prefer commercial. That means they're going to pass it in there to lower government expenses. He said it today. It's different from chartering a private jet and paying so much money just for one man. All right? This is what he said today. Go back to the interview. But because you want to be severely condescending, you try to wrap this guy in an era where he actually doesn't belong. But anyway, let me make some elevation here. Cummins' message today was for the intelligentsia in Moravia. And those are all I went to school. All right? I'm waiting for the message for the rural voting bloc. That's the message I'm waiting for, because those are the people that are supposed to put in the executive mansion. That one. Two, the man of God said some people were tested, some people were not tested. Helen Johnson said they were never tested and tried. She waved her way in there and started to learn on the job. So many things went wrong. Joseph Boakai was never tested and tried as a president. He was tested and tried as a vice president. Even at that, he denies that. He said he was packed. So he never had that opportunity to really learn much. From his own words. All right. So Kumi, the good part about Kumi here is this. Kumi, he's coming from, he has what I call a set of high-end international managerial skills. Skill that he acquired from the white man land, not from Africa, not from third world country. All the presidents that have been in that place there, all their skill is from the third world analysis. They went to school in the third world, they come out in the third world. This man developed his skill, a sophisticated system. And he worked with these people that believe in managerial skill and in democracy. So I show this man have got what I call an organized roadmap for Liberia. So I will agree with the men of God. The message for the rural voting bloc, that is the message that will take Kumi to the White House. We already seen the message for the Moravian and the so-called educators. We heard our message today. So I'm waiting for the message for the rural bloc. That's what I'm waiting for right now. So Kumi not being tested, I don't think it's an issue right now, because I may get a whole lot of serious pedicure to his fingertip. Being a manager among white people, where education originated, and you work for so long, and you are retired in honor. That's why Kumi keep telling us today, half of the things he said today on our platform was what? Economic. So I'm tempted to believe now Kumi want to transform Liberia into what I call a systemic welfare state. And we'll observe that 27 in the honor that man 27-year rule, where he forgot about all the development. He was just making people happy. People were just enjoying honor third man. People were just enjoying and praising him all around. I think this is where Kumi wants to go.
Okay.
Yes, if you go that way, trust me, the Liberian people will love you. Because who will reject a welfare state?
Okay.
Thank
so,
you.
Fatu, I think what they are doing now, they are fighting your battle. In order, the law is fighting my battle.
Well, not quite, because
okay.
I disagree with this concept of, Mr. Kumi want all the praise and he want all these different things. I do agree with Dr. Mali. Sorry if I say anything wrong. When it comes to, he did lay out a really good plan, and to your point about he communicated to the intellectuals, and so now he should talk to the local Liberians. I don't think that message is any different. I think we got to stop thinking that the local Liberians are not going to understand concepts of economics. Like, the people are really struggling, and if a person comes with an idea on this is how we can move this forward, and he has the experience in working with these multinational companies, and is coming with really good plans, I think that's something that can be communicated to your regular voter. I don't think it needs to be this, other messaging, if you will. So again, this is part of the plan of just talking more to Liberian voters about what we want to see happen for the country, why it's important, how they will benefit, how we're going to help support the education system in the country, how we're going to help support the health system in the country, how we're going to really work to bring direct investment into the country. I think those are things that we can talk in local colloquia, of course, but people are going to understand what that means, because it's going to directly impact their lives, really, and their children's lives as well. So that's my only take on that. I think we have to really shift the narrative and how we talk about each other. We have to be uplifting each other in conversations when it comes to our intellect, because we're not, and you also mentioned something about because he studied in a developed country. So yes, he's very intelligent. He's, you know, he went to all these top universities, but it doesn't, you know, diminish education in the developing world, right? So I think we can talk in gratitude, but also not having to desecrate other, you know, education systems back in Africa actually as a whole. But yeah, that's my only pushback.
So, okay, Terry, let's bring Terry in this right here and see what sort of gospel voice we're going to get inside here. This is what he said today. He said the 10-year rules were violated. Shame on them. That was being very forceful. He was category. He was direct that this administrations, all of the 10 years laws were violated, and shame on them. That was being more or less direct. Is that the Alexander Cummings now moving forward? Because he said that. He said that people defying, which is true. He admitted that. And he realized the damage it caused to his campaign. So there was a big distraction because all what was happening last night was just damage control. Come and do this, come and do this. Those guys entangle him, those guys put him in the bubbles. The coins, all sort of words. He finger document. When somebody fingers something, all you kind of think is just a distraction. So the ordinary people there grab it and they give it interpretation. And I'm not sure whether he had the media team to really debunk, to counter at that point. But from what I see now, you know, everybody can learn. You know, when you fall down somewhere today, when you come by the next time, you do it. So there are two things here. In politics too, there is a sympathetic part of a politics. Depending how this government going to conduct herself. George Weah was given the opportunity as an indigenous. Joseph Boyka came in. Alexander Cummings during the last election was labeled as the elite, and they don't want the elite to come back. But if Joseph Boyka, all what is unfolding now, if he can't manage, if he can't contain, if he can't deliver, then more or less the sympathy aspect going to come in now. We try the other man, they may not do this, and it's typical with everybody, with human being. We need to treat the man fair, but see what this man is talking to us. He communicating with us now as a Liberian, and we begin to see his side, his real side. In fact, they say he was this way, he that way. But see how he talk today. See how he talking now. People will begin to kind of have that sort of a different man. Is that what he should be doing now? Is Boyka or the opposition now, or will it be a big fight within the opposition? Because at the end of the day, and that's Stanton asked that question, and which is true, one person can't do it. So now who gonna give in to who? Are we going to the All Liberian Conference when they were fighting to how they call it, say at the center there, and then Charles Taylor was elected as the president? Is that what's gonna happen? We don't know. What's your thought?
Yeah, firstly, I would like to ask Sis Fatu whether is she vying for a political position in the ANC USA.
Terry,
Like,
not talking about Terry. You see,
no, that just sound bad. They don't want you can answer it. I will come to your question.
They don't have a side way. Then I'm asking you now. I ask you a question and you take me asking other people.
I was just giving that one for her to be thinking on it until we can come to it. But
that's how they behave. Terry action is deliberate. He doesn't want to answer my question. Then he turn around asking you question whether you want political.
But Mr. So, to be honest here, right? Mr. Cummings is between a rock and a hard place. You know, a real politician would give Mr. Cummings the prospect of 2035 or 20 whatsoever, because there is a CDC and there is a unity party. So Mr. Cummings have to play his card very well right now by standing on his own and challenging these two forces. Because either he cannot subject himself to either one of these forces that he's trying to present himself to be the clean man. And Dr. Malik, when I said Mr. Cummings' point Mr. Cummings' message could be successful when he project the message that he is the only man in the room here that have not been tested. You talk about Madam Sirleaf. The reason why Madam Sirleaf was voted for is because she was not tested with political power. She got political power for 12 years. We know, we saw it. The reason why the people trusted JMB, that's what you said. JMB said he was packed. He was not tested, so he wanted you all to test him. He brought that narrative. It worked. President Weah have been tested. So these two people come 2029, they will have Mr. Cummings will have a better platform because both of them would have been tested in all political systems and proven to be failures. So the narrative now that people want to see is the man in the room that have not been tested. That is what I'm saying. So that narrative could be pushed. But Mr. Cummings talking about this thing, telling position, blah, 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 all those things. To me, I don't see it to be anything because in a political system, these are things that are very
Terry, you see, what you're doing now, it reminds me of this Ivorian guy we talked to here yesterday. You don't see
that was a good show.
Yeah, don't give me praise for that. I will bring you. I'm trying to drive you to a point. When you have the constitution, the laws of the land, it is the responsibility of the executive to protect and enforce of the laws of the land. And you are telling us, after you preach in your church today, for the people to believe in the Bible, that's the only way to heaven, and you come in here to tell us today, okay, the law means nothing. Let's violate the hand. Let's live inside people. Do whatever you want to do, and the country will be okay. Is that what you're telling us?
That's not what I'm saying. What I'm saying, in a political terrain like Liberia, there are certain people, there are certain jobs are political. Even Mr. Cummings get employed today. Every president in Liberia did the same thing. Madam Sirleaf, Charles Taylor, Madam Sirleaf, or what her name, George Weah, former president Weah, challenged people in tenure position. If I can challenge Mr. Cummings, if he comes to power today, there are certain political offices that will be challenged by him or by his administration. That is the political terrain in Liberia.
In fairness, before I go to Fatu, with respect to that, but he little bit expand on it. Let's be fair here. What did he say?
I agree. He expand. He said some beautiful things, but that's not my concern.
Yeah,
Mr. So, the truth here is this, right? If Mr. Cummings must win the elections come 2029, there are certain things he need to do. Or the fan talk he talking, cannot give him the presidency. There are political strategies that must be employed. The ANC diaspora cannot be the one to be telling the Liberian people in Liberia to vote for Mr. Cummings because he XYZ. They will not listen to them, unfortunately. But the ANC diaspora can be the backbone and the supporters to Mr. Cummings' ambition, to his, and when he wins, they can come and work in the government. But the truth of the matter here is that Mr. Cummings is in a he's between a rock and a hard place. The CDC is not good for him. The Unity Party, he's saying to the Unity Party that, hey, you people are corrupt. You people are not correct. And all of that. And now he's left in the middle. He has to be able to present himself as the alternative for the Liberian people. And the way in which he can do that is for the people for him to have the right people to sell his narrative. Lastly, only thing I like about him, he took responsibility. And that is something that the CDC will never do. Because the CDC understands the political terrain of Liberia. The seditionists will never take responsibility for the fall. But today, Mr. Cummings stood up and took responsibility and told us some of the reasons why he failed and how he's going to do it better. That to me is a fun thing.
So, Fatu, here we are. You listen to the Reverend again. It's typical. Nobody, they're not going to give him credit. But I think what he did today was to play a softball because he knows he's going to be the cutting edge comes 2029. You don't want to hurt that much CDC. You don't want to hurt either Unity Party because there has been some people sitting on the fence. And he was very much strategic when it came to movability. That's what you do in politics. You play nice because you don't know you're going to need that person. When you begin to buy more persons, not even on the eve, that's a dangerous ground. Let me just bring you in here.
Yeah, well, I want to touch on a question that Terry had asked prior to his response to your thing. No, I'm not doing this because I want a job with ANC. I'm doing this because I actually care about what happens to Liberia in Liberia. I actually do believe that Mr. Cummings is a great candidate to navigate us through this difficult time in our country. I just want to flag that. And then also, I think you're talking about the ANC diaspora not being like, you know, able to talk to Liberians on the ground about what's, you know, who to vote for and who not to vote for. You know, ANC is a really huge party. ANC diaspora is a part of that organization. And when it comes to organizing, so you need to like be able to like bring people together from different aspects of the country to really understand what we need to do to move forward. And so part of the strategy is to really do that. And so I don't, ANC is on the ground, just FYI, obviously. But I think our organizing strategy should not fool anyone to think that we're not actually on the ground and actually talking to people and having those relationships cultivated, because that's campaigning. That's how you win. So I just want to touch on that. But, you know, I overall, I think Mr. Cummings really, it's a person who has a plan and has a vision for what he wants to see happen. He is doing politics in a way that a healthy democracy would and should implement. I think there's respect for your opponents. Obviously, we are going to be critical of the issues, and we are going to, you know, fight back on the issues because we do have a better plan and better strategy. But like you mentioned in the interview today, we don't need to like be dragging people down like, you know, crab in a barrel. I think there are times where we need to be talking about the issues and have that be the focus, not the individual per se. So his politics is a little different. Doesn't mean that he's not Liberian or that the people who are really helping to organize and talk to other people aren't also invested in what's best either. I just think it's just a different way that we're going forward in doing the work.
So, Dr. Mali, let me bring in this here, and we're gonna talk about it. He said he's in his own word, these factional groups in ANC diaspora, he's gonna put them together. And I think what he said too was that at the end of the day, more or less will be manifested. I mean, to be grounded in Liberia. You heard him saying, after my convention, I'm going back. So these basement parties, having all of these things going on here, it did not profit him politically. So he has realized that. So maybe the diaspora will be used as a financial background to raise money, which of course every other people, but more or less now he's going to be focusing for the really the electorate. It's not like Cote d'Ivoire that get over 700 some more thousand people that are going to be voting. If diaspora, and I don't know why this thing was not disclosed. Terry, why you didn't talk this thing to Joseph Boyka at the diaspora conference, Dr. Toto? Then that's what it's supposed to be pushing. We raise a lot of money, we give a lot of money, send a lot of money back. Our vote should be counted. And that's what they don't want to do, because that's going to be a pivotal one here. When votes coming from the diaspora, trust me, will almost be like they're more than they are voting. That would be a good number here. But Dr. Mali, do you think a real hardcore lesson was learned? Only if it would be manifested, only if it would be perfected, saying it and have it done. If nobody going to create some sort of black cloth or corridor before his campaign against, oh no, Mr. Comey, and don't do the one here, don't do the one here. I think he's trying to take something away here.
Well, there are a few things I disagree with too, but let me just address your question. I don't know what Comey and his team's strategies are at this time. I don't know. But as Terry said, he's between a rock and a hard place. That's a fact. CDC have got their own way of carrying messages. Unity Party have got their own way of carrying messages. And the last time I noticed, the ANC spent more time convincing people in Morovia. The people in Morovia, there's something we can't forget about them for a while. because they can create a condition for you to spend more time with them. The issue here is the rural voting bloc. Can Kumi start spending time in that area? I think it will pay off, and the type of message he's going to care. Because if Kumi, the question now is, he has to showcase to make the difference. What difference can I make with CDC? What difference can I make with a unity party? That is the challenge right in there. If Kumi cannot make the difference in there, either the CDC or the unity party might end up carrying the day, because like they're all carrying the same message, and it's like one of them doing this in a sophisticated way, the other one doing it the traditional way. You see? So, first thing first, Kumi will have to try by all means, talk to this government in power for people in the diaspora to vote. That could be one of the key constituents for him. Yes. If he work on that and succeed, it will be a good thing for him. Tele, it will be good, as I said, I don't know his strategy, to divide Liberia into 4 zones and concentrate himself in the southeast for more than 6 to 1 year. You don't see even come Morovia. And the message Fatou just said, the message he said today, probably it shouldn't be different from, no, it has to be different from the message in the interior. Because the people in the interior, they constitute the voting bloc to put you in the mansion. These are the group of people who, when you see, they celebrate you. All right? This is the block where when you carry a message and you lie to them, they celebrate you. That's how Open Ben winning. That's how Open won his election. Look at the counter either. When Open carry lies somewhere, we also carry lies there too. You see? If Open carry funny message somewhere, we carry funny message somewhere too, because Open violated all the tenets of democracy in Liberia, including good governance.
Why are you calling him Open, Dr. Mali?
I mean, former president, we are, or pastor, we are. He violated all the tenets of democracy in Liberia, and he won the election. So there is a need now for Kumi to study CDC, take CDC in a strategic room and study them, what kind of message they're carrying, and tap into that message there and get it out of the way, as well as Unity Party. But other than that, he's between the rock and the hard place, as the Reverend said. Thank you.
So,
sorry, President, we are. I mean, that was just an oversight. His Excellency, former President, we are.
Let me come here and answer. I'm trying to come here because I've been sitting quietly.
I just want to touch on something.
Yeah, Keto way small, because I think you want can blast now. I think you want kind of Dr. Maya. So let's stabilize the conversation. Fatou, let's hear you.
Yeah, I just have one comment. What I meant was, yes, it's important to talk to people in the rural area. I don't think he needs to change his core messaging. I think anyone can understand that we have really high unemployment. We have drug issues in the country. We need to improve our education, especially in the rural area, the education access, right? You need to get paternity health care set up, especially for women. So I think he can talk about those things just the same in Morovia and also in Morovia. I think that, like I said, yes, we'll speak, the way you have to communicate in a way people understand, of course, but the core messaging and the core vision that he has for what he wants to do is not going to change, because it has to be consistent. Again, going back to integrity, right? You need to talk about what he wants to do consistently, regardless of who he's talking to. And so I think I just want to correct that statement.
Okay, let's see. I think Keto is about Keto fire out Dr. Mali. Let's see.
So this is the thing we talk about, and I keep hearing the doctor denigrating our country, our people, and I'm some kind of disappointed. This is the reason why I said Joseph Boaga. I mean, he will brand the people from Lofa County as being very inept and irresponsible because of some of the utterances of Dr. Mali, and for he to look at the people from the rural part of the country and call them silly. What he said, the poor are stupid. They don't understand nothing. That's what he's saying to the people. And I show the people of Nima County, do not think that way. I show the people of Bon County, do not think that way. I show the people of Lofa County, maybe Lofa people think like that. Not the other county. You understand? So you cannot sit on this platform and be saying these things. And secondly, he talked about President. We allow that Joseph Boakai. Boakai allowed to Liberian people. Are you scared to talk to call him? He's from Lofa County. He's your kingsman. He lied to Liberian people. He told Liberian people that Joey was flying private jet. What he did, flew private jet. Man who promoted him to presidency put it outside. We saw it. He lied that George Weah built home. What he building? He building mansion in Foya. Foya is not the capital of Lofa County. Fonjima is the capital. He building a presidential mansion over there. All right. He lied to the people. All right. He's the man. He was not even president when he asked through the late or minister to get 5 cars for NASCAR. You cannot come here and bring former President Weah to public ridicule and leave your kinsman. Or this the reason I say our tribal politics is very bad. And if you telling Fatu, advising Fatu, and Fatu will listen to you, I'm sorry, Edison Okun will even go below 1%, because Dr. Male is not of any good influence on anything politics in Liberia. A man who asking for death penalty to kill people because of drug. That's the mentality of Joseph Boakai. That's that Dr. Male mentality right there. We're talking about Alexander Kumi's speech. I mean, his presentation today, and Dr. Male come here and preaching trouble. For me, it's kind of for sad. A whole doctor that's supposed to be controlling the conversation here is spilling a complete tabata. So let's speak to Alexander Kumi's speech, our CEO. Alexander Kumi's speech today. Alexander Kumi's speech today. I mean, his presentation today. I'm not saying it was bad. What I'm saying here, as an opposition, you don't give the ruling establishment the pass, an easy pass. And I think he did for Joseph Boakai today. He was supposed to hit the hardcore issues that Joseph Boakai just started George Weah government 4 years back and yesterday. He didn't do that. And he contradicted himself. You graded his government 3%. But then you say you wish them okay to succeed in doing some good things and stuff. No, hit the knee on the hill and keep moving as an opposition. When your time comes, you will make the country better than what this man is doing in the country. That's what we want him to do.
All right, Terry, let's hear you.
Yeah, you see, Mr. Cummings did not grade Joseph Boakai government success. He said three points. He gave them from 1 to 10, 3. So how can that be a success? It's not a success, Keto. And to
no, I didn't say it was a success. I say he contradicted himself. If you get into it, how can he say it was they're doing good?
He didn't say.
No, he did not say they're doing good. He said
they're doing good in some things.
Yeah,
he
said they're performing in some area. Then that why he but 3%. But anyway, Fatu, what I meant is not about job, right? I was not talking about job. I'm saying, what if you are vying for any political position in the ANC convention, during the ANC convention in the US? That's what I'm trying to say. But obviously, you're not going to be behind a political institution for nothing. It's not, nothing comes freely to just be running behind Mr. Coming. Oh, yeah. But anyway, to Dr. Mali.
That's actually, 1 second.
You want to go to UP? Just say we want
to go. UP want everybody. What are you doing? But I'm not a UPist. I keep saying this. I'm an independent, even though I support Joseph Boakai government. But if she want to come over to UP, it's okay. She's a good character. She informed, she educated. Why not? But yeah, you were saying something.
Can I just say something real quick?
Yeah, I will finish.
It's not. And I get it. Sometimes people have ulterior motives if they're like, I'm volunteering my time for free, because I do honestly believe that Liberia would be better off with Cummings in that position of presidency. And I do think he has great plans in what he wants to do. And the people that I'm volunteering with, all within the ANC, truly believes that. We're doing it free. We're not getting paid for anything that we're doing,
So
right?
if he calls
So
you, if he wins and calls you to work in the government, will you refuse? Will you accept? Will you say no or so?
I have a job. I am not trying to gain
Yeah.
position in
Okay. Okay.
because
Anyway,
I think
I get you. But anyway,
you're kind of questioning my intention on what I'm doing, and that's highly inappropriate. Because let's be honest, if other people wants to help Liberia in any capacity, either they're volunteering or they're working in politics or whatever the case may be, we gotta be supportive of that. I mean, yes, you are opposition to ANC, but we have to be okay with people in the diaspora actually coming and like bringing some sort of value in whatever small capacity that may bring that value into the different systems that we have in place in Liberia. So it seems like a integrity issue that you have, and I get it, but just like I'm volunteering my time to like help get us through this election.
Fatu, Liberia need, Mr. So please, Liberia need uh people with human resource capacity. I think we're short of that. So if I am supporting a political party to the extra mile and making serious sacrifices, I don't think it's a bad thing to want to stick to help. But my concern was about Mr. So Dr. Mali made a very significant point that the messaging to the native people is completely different from the messaging to the upper class, to the educated class in Liberia. And most of our people are uneducated. Dr. Mali, I don't believe, was saying that, oh, the people silly, the people stupid, the people this. No. Why are we here? Why Mr. Cummings spoke about the educational sector to revamp it? Why is the international community giving money to build 100 schools to help foundational learning in our society? It's because we have poor quality of education and we have less people educated. So what wrong with you saying that, oh, we need, Mr. Cummings need the type of messaging that resonate with a certain class of people who are in majority? That is not wrong. And I want to agree with Dr. Malik.
Okay.
Thank you.
So
Yeah,
you
what
want to
I
agree with Dr. Mali that Kumi should be a liar to lie to Liberian people? That what you want? You agree with Dr. Mali?
No, that's
Is
not
that
what
he's
he
saying,
was
Kumi
saying.
and Terry?
No, that's not what
He
he was
said
saying.
the people in the interior believe in lies. He said the poor believe in lies, so Kumi must carry lies to them. That's what he said. CEO can play the tape.
I didn't hear that part.
No, wait a minute
I didn't
now.
hear that. But
Because
I'm not speaking from that perspective.
Because CDC lied to the rural voting bloc.
And also Kumi should go and lie to them. You see that?
So you believe that Kumi CDC did lie to the rural voting bloc?
No, I believe that Joseph Boakai lied from Lofa County to Liberian people. That's what I believe.
Okay, guys, let's return to baseline. Yeah, what I differ with here, Dr. Mali, with respect of don't focus on Morovia or Moserado. If you look at it last time around, Moserado has a very good chunk of voting population. That's something. If you get a good numbers from there, you potentially on your way. I think what is being happening, people are not being investing their resources in a strategic place. There are some places you really don't even need to waste time. Campaign is all about being strategic, where you want to put focus, put your resources, because there are some places they are setting. We see that happening here. They are certain state Democrat, no matter what you do, whoever you put there, you can't win certain state. There are certain state in Republican area Democrat can win it. I'm not saying that's the same case, but when you look at certain counties in a place there, you first of all you look at the roster and see the number of votes coming to those places from those kind of places. See your strength, see who you have there. That's where you want to direct resources, time, energy, human capacity, everything. Because why? You will be keeping eyes on that place, and as you other places, you make competitive to narrow it down so that you can catch up. But our people I'm not sure whether all of the parties have been doing that, and that's one of the reasons. So
Yeah.
campaigns, they got to be very strategic to see where their strength is and make more resources. Most of there's no way. Most of is everybody's land. So you got to do well there, because if you can't do well, like look at it last time around, you have almost 700 some more thousand, 2017, 700 some more thousand. So if you can't get even, if you can't get good percent there, then you're in trouble, because that way everybody live. That should be, that way is your, maybe your party headquarters, your cell base. So with that said, as time running out now, we're going to be wrapping all yet very strict quickly here. It seems to me, Fatu, ANC, Mr. Cummins, and the ANC, more or less, I think they have come to realize resources will be more or less planted on ground to make the presence of the ANC felt, because how you saying we're going to have places in all counties, this and that. Yeah, it's something. It got to be visible. He has to be illustrative. Whether that one room office space for people, where people will go, because if you don't do that, that's a problem. So before we go here this evening, guys, today is Sunday, everybody gets stuff to do here. Let me just put you, can I reserve you, because I don't want you guys to come to Tabata and then at the end of the day, you something here, because the pastor is still pulling things around, cutting, chopping things up here some kind of way. You're not cutting the grains good. So, yeah, Kato, you started off here, comment will go on President Weah. Comment must go on President Weah. With all of this here today, seeing what happens here, is there change in position, or you still wonder bridge over troubled water?
Well, if you really listen to Kumi's presentation today, he said it. He said that there will come a time that, I mean, there will be collaboration. They will have to discuss on what is in the collaboration. I mean, what positions available and all that, and then they will consider, but there's collaboration. So what I'm saying here, Kumin does not have, a solid constituent in Liberia, or let's say a permanent constituency in Liberia now. So Kumin, the way our Liberian political system is at this point, it's a two-party system. We have seen it over the years. I mean, since 2004, Unity Party, CDC, Unity Party, CDC, Unity Party, CDC. So I can tell you, Kumi will go on a Unity Party at this point because he's in opposition. So where best place for him to go? CDC, the largest political opposition party right now. So there will be some kind of a collaboration, and it makes sense. Even Kumi going by himself as ANC cannot win election. He has to collaborate. And he's not going to collaborate with another party like Tewa Gonglu, the broom man, that also got 0.0000 whatever percent. He can't go on. Nobody know the future of Musa Ability. I mean, you saw Musa Ability running away from Nima Kante when it came to the election that just took place there. He ran away and left his candidate, to vultures and stuff like that. So this is where we are. Alexander Kumi knows exactly where he's gonna go. It will be hard for some of his surrogates. It will be hard for people that support him. But this is the way of Liberian politics at this point. He probably will go. If he doesn't go with President Weah, well, I mean, he could hold his best bet will be 6 years after 2029. We're talking about, let's say, 2035, 2036. Maybe he will be there. But at this point, that's why I see that's the only way he can come close to presidency in Liberia.
Wow. Okay, Terry.
So if Mr. Cummings go with CDC, that would be the worst thing that will ever happen to him, because President Weah got one more term. If he messes up, Cummings is done, because now he will be seen. What he have, that clean sheet, will be polluted now, because they will spoil everything for him. There will be no way the people will listen to him, because JMB will be used as a case study if JMB government failed. They will say, you see, JMB was vice president, blah, blah, blah. So here is the thing. That's why I said he between a rock and a hard place. Mr. Cummings have to challenge the system and challenge the both of them, the CDC and the Unity Party, and create a neutral or playing field for other smaller collaboration of other political parties to come in. If Mr. Cummings wants to win this thing, he have to depend on Joseph Boga failing. If Joseph Boga do not fail, Mr. Cummings do not have a chance. If Joseph Boga do fail, Mr. Cummings have a chance to challenge both the CDC government and Joseph Boga by saying, I am neutral. I am willing to change the narrative. I can bring it. And the only way he should liaise with CDC is unless the standard bearer is going as running mate to him. He should not bow to that. For JMB, likewise, if Unity Party will say, okay, Mr. Cummings, you genuine, the only thing he should settle for with Unity Party is the standard bearership and nothing else. If I were Mr. Cummings, I was not settle for any other thing, because I have to create that opportunity to present myself to the Liberian people that I am the option in the race because I have not been tested. That's my position.
Fatu, don't buy into them. Much, Terry. Let's bring Dr. Mallett. Fatu, you just want to cap everything.
Fatu, don't buy into them. These are enemy of progress. Don't buy into them.
I would just say this, and it's going to be long. You know, I think with any healthy democracy, as we're learning here in the States, you need multiple parties. You need to have different perspective and different visions. And I think this is what ANC stands for. And so I'm just leave it at that. I don't think it's a negative to have a third party. I think it's actually a great thing that we are challenging the status quo and wanting to see something different.
Thank you. Dr. Malley?
Well, I think we need to put something in perspective here. The last election we have for the 6th political party, and only one emerged to be victorious. If for any reason Kumi decide to enforce his collaboration and decide to go as a VP to CDC, that would be a stigma and very devastating in our country. That's the first thing. Secondly, that will also mean that the ANC leader, he's very, very, very desperate for power. I think he better go and do a collaboration with the other political parties, smaller parties down the road. Because the failure of JMB will be very advantageous to CDC. CDC could easily win due to the failure of Unity Party, then the ANC winning. That's what I see coming. But what Kumi could do to close this gap, one, Kumi can set up for the first time, I know Fatu will disagree with me again, Kumi can set up for the first time what I call a tribal vernaculars campaign team. That's something different, a tribal vernaculars campaign team for the first time. And just keep them in the various country, they just there, no English speaking, straight vernaculars. That one. Two, Kumi has to paraphrase his message for the different voting bloc in Liberia. It's the same message, but you have to paraphrase it. One for the high functional Liberia in Monrovia. The same message paraphrase it for the people in Nima County. For the same message paraphrase for the people in Nima County and in Lofa County and all these things. He has to do that. You see? Because there are possibilities for CDC to hang on a small little thing. That's what they normally do. They hang on a small little thing and start carrying a bushfire message all over the place. Then Kumi now, instead of him focusing on his messaging, he start fighting back. This time Kumi should not fight back. You should carry his message. Okay. What your way say you wanna pay attention to it. Let him just focus on his message. And he should spend more time, about 85% time in the rural area this time around, and leave a strategic team in place for the people in Monrovia,
Oh my God. They said,
Thank you, Esther. Thank you very much, Esther.
so,
So this is
Dr.
my
Mali and Terry, enemy of
I'm very
progress.
sure, but not be very clear. If Unity Party perform dismally, CDC has the upper hand.
okay, great. Thank you so much. Fatu, let me just bring you one thing that I also noticed. Most of the campaigns and a lot of investment or political investment is not done in terms of raising other candidates in his county, be a representative. There will be a lot of seats at stake. I'm not sure. Do you think Cummings, because Cummings here, he's going to be our bubble gum because we have experience. We get a taste of boycott already. So he is the unknown person, unknown in terms of what he's going to do. But his voice of he wants to see things done and in his word today, which was a very strategic political point that he's been punished because he wants to change the system. So that's something he need to put in the minds of the people. The reason they put want me to get here because they are corrupt behavior. I want to change it, and they don't want me to change it. That's why they didn't want me to be president. Now, should the ANC in turn invest with some potential candidates, because those people too, coming from this county, the Nima, the Lofa, the Bon County, they will bring voters because you bring a household name, popular individual from in those places, you build a good coalition, you build a good voting bloc for the party. I didn't see that happen. Now, not only with ANC, but most of the party that wasn't doing that. Do you think they would create a sort of octopus scenarios of investing, putting some really strong candidate in those county in order to amend their vote before we go?
What I do know is that this is some of the talking points in our convention. So we just had one recently. We'll have another one coming up here on the 24th and 25th of October in Atlanta. Part of that is to have that conversation about, how do we want to go ahead and support the upcoming candidates on who is aligned with the values of ANC. So that's something to look out for. We will be more clear and direct about that in the coming weeks here after we have that internal conversation and strategy sessions.
Okay, guys, time has caught up with us here. Today is Sunday. We gotta go chill. Fatu, always pleasure to have you here. Always chip
Thanks for
in.
having me.
Yeah, I always check because, and I told the ANC people, not just all the, I don't know whether Keto, whether he's CDC or DCC. I don't know where he say he independent. When he tend to be independent, he reaction. So again, like we said, we have about
Mr. So I'm here. I'm still independent. I ain't going nowhere. I just like to speak the reality, and I think if the sooner these people, the sooner they realize, the better. If you that people got a saying, oh, he said, if you don't, he said, you get it. If you don't get it, forget about it. That what's gonna happen.
So, like I said, I reached out to Leon. We'd love to have people here because we want to have this sort of balanced conversations. The media became a factor, and other people were not given the opportunity to really get their side. And I hope for not just only the surrogate, these people they must be able to get access to them. They get a CNN blog, they get ABC, they get NBC. There are certain outlets to you go, and it depends where you go. The message can be processed in different forms and different shapes. We want to thank you so much for sharing your time with us this evening. Fatu, we're always good to have you. We'll always throw the link there. When you have the time, just jump in. Do not allow these guys to intimidate you.
No.
Yeah, the pastor. Good. You see, Dr. Mali, a little Esther was firing at Dr. Mali, then he came back to his he came back to that Esther can put her in check. And then get on the other side. But guys, thank you so much. What a great conversation. Yeah. We'll be back here in the during the week again for more discussion. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Thank you.
All right. Okay, well, folks, that does it this evening. I'm Afonso Z, and so right here from the New England Bureaus of the Liberia Public Radio, LPR going inside La Côte d'Ivoire, the politics. Less than 20 days to the presidential election. A certainty is still there. We should be having some top political leaders there to be having a conversations on the future of La Côte d'Ivoire. It's keeping it fair, balanced, and proportionate. We are also working to bring you live coverage to cover the Côte d'Ivoire elections as well. We want to thank you so much for being here, and we'll continue to do this as always. And we'll hear from all sides. I will open the corridor for CMC. What the party means? CMC, yeah, CMC. If they can send their representative as well, that's fine. And I hope these the parties will invest into public relations. The idea of always having their TV or whatever platform, it doesn't make sense. That's not a good strategy. That's not a good public relations. You can't, the people, they are your people. Why would you want to invest into people's strange terrain? They might sound tall, they might sound harsh, but that's where you want to invest resources. They are your people already. They're in your column. They're on your side. They have your back. So why waste time? So the more you make yourself available, accessible to other networking, there are different people that listen, and potentially people can be able to make some rational judgment. Thank you so much, and have a pleasant evening. But before we go, you better get to your reservations and fly away.
Hey you, it's time to pack your bags. The world is calling. From the skies above to every corner of the map, explore all 7 continents with journeys designed especially for Europe and Africa. Whether it's a cruise, an all-inclusive resort, a hotel, car rental, theme park getaway, or the perfect excursion, Ayana's Dream Escapes brings the world within reach. Adventures start here. Don't just dream, escape. Book now, visit our site, scan the QR code, or just call today.